All right, so I'm just going to go over the fractions project for the group that's doing that. Doing this at home, so if you hear a baby screaming or my dog barking or sounds crashing in the background, it's because there's a baby screaming or sounds in the background that are crashing. I'm not at school, so I just want to quickly go over this just because I'm going to probably be with a couple different groups, so I may not be as available as you would need me to be. So I'm going to go over this, and then if you need help as you're working, just raise your hand, come to you, and figure out what you need and try to help you out. But I'm trying to do this and show you what the resources are so that you can be as self-sufficient as possible. So I'm putting them in this folder, and I haven't put the video in. When I put this video I'm recording now, it'll be right at the beginning. It'll be the first thing you're watching. So these are the things that you have available. Now, the backboard of the classroom has everything about this project, which is pretty general because I wanted you to sort of make some decisions on your own because I know that you're all smart enough to figure things out. What you can you can make a video, and there are a couple ways to do that. There's an app on the iPad called EduCreations that'll work for that, and there's a recording. You can record with the iPads as well. So there are different ways to make videos. A poster, a scavenger hunt with QR codes, or another kind of game. You could do a Glogster or a Prezi. Or if you have another idea to present this information, then I'm open to hear another ideas. Just talk to me about it, and we'll see what you come up with, and I'll tell you if it'll work. Regardless of what you do, the things that your project needs are listed on the backboard. I'm going to go over them now. The important vocabulary. Now, if you look in some of this stuff that is here, you'll see a lot of the important vocabulary, and it'll stick out. I'm going to kind of leave it up to you to decide what the important vocabulary is. I mean, obviously, names like numerator, denominator, all that stuff should be listed somewhere. So regardless of what you do, video, poster, whatever you do, it should have that. And then you're going to explain how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions using words and examples. So regardless of what you do, you need to have some explanation of how to do these things. And it shouldn't be just copied from online or from the videos. It should be in your own words what you think you would do based on what you've read and looked at. Then you're going to have example problems for other students to work. So you're going to make something that I could hand to another student that they could work out. So ideally, the explanation that you have, I could hand to them and they could read it and learn what to do. And also they could do those example problems that you're giving them. And then you're going to say, the board says hidden solutions. So that means is don't work the solutions out right next to the problem. Do it somewhere else so that if I gave them to another student to work, we could use your solutions to check and make sure they did it right. And a solution would imply that you have the answer to the problems that you made plus all the work that it took to get there. That's what a solution is. And then I'd like to see a mind map that compares adding and subtracting fractions with multiplying and dividing fractions. And you pick which mind map you think would best compare two different things. If you look on the side, sort of the bulletin board, it has all the maps, and you could probably figure out which one to use. When I say pick a certain type of project, whether it be video, poster, scavenger hunt, there's a chance that you may want to do multiple kinds. For example, like let's say you want to do a QR code scavenger hunt to give the students in the class example problems to do. Well, it may be hard to do explanations on the scavenger hunt. So what you may do is just have a sheet of paper with your explanations or a poster with your explanations, and then the scavenger hunt with the example problems. So you could mix it up. Like you could hand me a paper with one part of it, or a poster with one part of it, and then you have another part with a different, if that makes sense. If you don't understand any of this, just ask. So let's go over a couple of these things. So here we have the fraction basics. That's where you could get a lot of your vocabulary. If at any point you want to see a site, you can see all the different things, just the very basics of fractions. Once again, a lot of your vocabulary may be here, stuff like that. If you want to go to any site, I'm just going to do this and open a new tab. If you click here, it'll take you to the actual site so that you see it in the full window and you can work with it a little bit better. Right. Then, since I had you do an example problem, some students like to make them up. You may want to see some examples. These have negatives. You don't have to do yours with negatives. As a matter of fact, for other students who are working, it may be good to have some without. If you really want to be like an overachiever, which is a good thing, then maybe do one, let's see, maybe pick one that has no negatives and then pick some that don't. And if you don't like any of these problems and you want like bigger numbers or something, go ahead and make up your own. That would be fine as well. So we're going to go back to our binder here. And that would be the addition subtraction worksheet. No, that's a different word. That's for something else. Sorry. If our binder will load up. And I hit present. So the best thing that you can do if you don't want what just happened to me to happen to you is if you right click and hit open a new tab, you can, if you, let me see, if you click this and then let's say that you want to open it up bigger, if you hit that and open a new tab, this thing that's here, I'm not in the play mode right now, I'm in the mode for editing. But remember that thing I clicked on? If you click open a new tab there, you will be able to stay on this and then have it up here. You probably knew that already. Here's the addition subtraction worksheet. With this subtraction, one thing you may want to do if you don't want to have it done with negatives, you may want to check the answers and find one that doesn't have a negative answer. That may help you out some. You know that that's going to have negatives because the answer is negative. And the same thing, both worksheets have answers, so you can check to make sure you did it right. Once you're done, you're finding the whole solution, so it doesn't matter that you have the answer because you're finding how to get the answer. All right, so if you're pretty sure you know how to do it already, this is something that may help you just to make sure you're doing it right. So this is an explanation. There are next buttons to go through it. Same thing here for multiplying and dividing. If you're really drawing a blank on how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions, I also put up some videos. They're really short and very easy to understand. I found them on YouTube, and they'll be great at explaining it. So you can watch these videos as well. That's up to you. Now, because 3 of the options, one was using Glogster, here's a short video that explains how to use Glogster. Here's a short video that explains how to use Prezi. If you've never seen these, then you may not want to do that format, but Glogster is probably easier to figure out than Prezi. If you've never seen either of them, maybe Glogster would be what you'd want to do over Prezi. That's up to you, though. And to do a QR code scavenger hunt for example questions or something, you would click here and just follow the directions. You'll get started and follow the directions they give you. If you have any questions, if you have any questions at any time as you're doing this, raise your hand or just come talk to me and we'll talk about it. And make sure that you understand what to do at any given point. Basically, what you should produce overall is some quality work that explains where a student who has no idea how to deal with fractions could read it and understand what to do, and where that student could work problems and then know exactly how to do it after checking your solutions. So that's what you're sort of making in this project.